ahead, an economic nuclear winter. That is the grim warning, as one of the worst stock exchange bloodbaths in history continues to hit global markets. The world is heading straight for recession.
It's April 2025, and if you look at the stock market, there's no way to say anything other than we are on a wild ride. The international markets are crazy, the US markets are crazy, and I don't know when it will settle down. I mean, we're talking, I think one day this week or last week, there was a $2 trillion swing in terms of market caps and whatnot. It's really scary, especially for folks who view the stock market as their primary means to generate wealth. And who wouldn't be scared by those huge swings? It's interesting though, when you think about all the different asset classes, of course the stock market's a huge one, there's real estate, but there are other asset classes that are harder for people to invest into, primarily owning small businesses. Let me share with you a couple of conversations I've had with the CEOs of our portfolio companies. I talked to one and he said that March was a little soft and we're probably not going to hit budget for the first quarter. However, given the dynamics with customers, still expect to be on budget for the second quarter, and by third quarter back to being on full budget for the entire year. So with all this uncertainty, with all this craziness, can you say the same for the stock market? Do you think the stock market's going to return the same amount? I mean, maybe it might. I mean, maybe in a few months or maybe in a few weeks even, the stock market turns around a great deal. And if that's your type of investing where there are huge swings and you have zero control over what's going to happen, then go for it. But that's not really the type of investing I like. That's not where I want to put my money, or at least not most of it. I want to invest in businesses that are smaller, where I can have a more meaningful control over the success or failure of that business. Again, we're living in turbulent times. And for our portfolio companies, that one I gave you was just one example. The rest of our portfolio's doing pretty well as well. Every company CEO talks about the crazy times that we're living in, but none of them are really all that concerned. Just think that it's going to be something that blows over. If you're approaching retirement age, or if retirement isn't too far off, what sounds scarier? Having an asset class that you can control whether or not it grows, or have more control over whether or not it grows, or a big chunk of your net worth being in the stock market, which who knows what could happen. Crazy things could happen. It's for those reasons that my partner and I are firm believers in buying businesses, growing them as a means not only to preserve wealth, but also to grow it. If you look at the most successful people in the world, did some of them get rich by investing in the stock market? Absolutely. I mean, look at hedge fund managers, for example. That's a great example of people that have been very successful. I mean, billionaires probably, purely by unique trading strategies in terms of public equities, public debt, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, how many hedge fund managers are there out there? Not a ton. And are there any hedge fund managers out there that are living a very comfortable life? Not really. So let's throw out the hedge fund piece of this. If you look at the other category of people that tend to make the most money, I would be hard pressed to find any other category other than business owners. Look at who's running the government right now. Trump, Elon Musk, a lot of the other people in the cabinet, they all accumulated their wealth through business ownership. And I don't have any aspirations of owning $1 billion company, but companies that are in the 10 to 100 million in revenues range, or probably 10 to 250 million dollars in revenue, that's a size range that I think is very attractive for people to try to have access to. Now, at this point, you might say, well, yeah, that's great. I would love to have access there, but I don't know the first thing about doing it. Well, I've got some help for you there. I actually launched a course to help people learn how to buy a business. Now, I know what you might be thinking, or at least some, that if I'm making YouTube videos, then the last thing I should be doing is teaching anybody about how to buy a business, because if I was so good at it, I should be out there doing it myself. I hear ya, but there's a slightly different angle to this course. Yes, it costs money. Yes, I hope it to be cash flow positive. However, we've done 9 deals. We've closed 9 deals. After you get to a certain point, there's only so much time that I can spend on future deals. A big reason for creating this course is actually that I wanted to develop a community of other business owners that are out there buying businesses that I might be able to partner with. I might be able to take on a board role, or might be able to provide some acquisition financing for those deals while maintaining a very limited involvement. If 4 Pillars, my company, if we want to get to 20 or 30 companies in our portfolio, there's no way I'm going to be able to spend as much time in those companies as I did the first 9. And this course is absolutely designed to help other people, but I think incentives and motivations are important. And I want to be clear that I am benefiting from this course, but not because of the fee, but because of the opportunity to invest in businesses if the students of the course are successful. If you'd like to learn more, there's a link at the bottom. And really, there's no pressure here. The last thing that I want to do is try to convince somebody to buy a business that doesn't want to. But if you are the type of person that isn't satisfied by parking your money in an asset, having no control over it, and on top of that, having huge swings, if that just doesn't set right for you, then maybe think about a way in which you can be in control of how your money grows. Thanks for watching.